Hi, friends. Welcome to Lead Like a Pirate. We have Beth Health, Shelly Burgess, Dawn Harris, and me, Traci Browder. We are so happy to be here with you. But we first want to thank you for being faithful participants this summer in our Leading by Learning series as we walk through understanding and self-awareness and how do we take this anti-racism transformation that we're undergoing? How do we take that into our classrooms, into our campuses, into our central offices, where we know there will be resistance and setbacks and lack of understanding? And so we just want to thank you for doing the work with us, for being vulnerable, for being okay with not knowing, for feeling like you're safe. And so from the bottom of our hearts, we just want to thank you. And we have something special that we're going to share with you tonight. But before we do that, I wanted to kick it off with just a little quote from the heart from me about educating ourselves. You cannot teach what you do not know. If you think there isn't a problem, that's the problem. We all must work to educate ourselves, to listen to each other, to have grace, to own our own learning, to acknowledge and own our privilege. Be aware that it is a state of privilege to begin learning about anti-racism and attempt to educate people of color about racism. Let that sit for a minute. And now
Traci,
we're ready to continue. Yes.
Do you mind, will you read it one more time? I think it's important enough to hear it one more time.
You cannot teach what you don't know. If you think there isn't a problem, that's the problem. We all must work to educate ourselves, to listen to each other, to have grace to own our own learning, to acknowledge and own our privilege. Be aware that it is a state of privilege to begin learning about anti-racism and attempt to educate people of color about racism. It's one of the most painful things. It's one of the most painful things that you can do to approach a Black person who has struggled, who has lived horrifying situations, to teach us and approach us as if we don't understand or if we don't get it. It's not okay. It's not okay.
We love you, Traci. Thank you for sharing that.
Also, it's not okay for us as white educators to expect our Black, Indigenous, people of color peers to teach us about white privilege, to teach us about anti-racism. Because if we take time to look, there's so much learning that's out there. So how might we make that a priority? And I think that, so we look at what we're trying to go to next a little bit with the chat. We've done a lot of work this summer so far, but one thing different that we're trying to do, and this week especially, is continue to grow and learn ourselves, because it's not okay to expect other people to teach us about the work that needs to be done all the time. We've got to take that on ourselves. So this week, something a little different. Shelly, you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, and I think what I want to add to what you were saying is that hearing what Traci shared, reflecting on what you just shared as well, is that for the last 7, 8, 9 weeks, Traci and Dawn, both of you have helped us all learn and have helped us all grow and shared incredible resources with us. And it's work that you didn't have to do. And it's work that nobody should expect you to do. And at the same time, both of you have said to us and to the entire LeadLAP community that we want to help you all learn and grow. And we're so, so grateful for the time that you have put in. I know I am better because of the work that you have done. Beth and I have had conversations outside of the four of us. I know Beth agrees with me. We are both better for knowing you and for the work that you have done with not just the two of us, but the entire Lead Like a Pirate community. And so from the bottom of our hearts, we want to thank you for that, because it was not something that you needed to do, nor should you be expected to do. And yet you've done it anyway. And thank you.
And thank you, both of you, so much. And Traci, for your partnership. And what you said, Traci, resonated with all of us here, right? Sitting right here in these four squares, but is going to resonate with everybody who's listening out there. And one of the things that we've reflected on prior to our video, because, you know, we talked prior to filming these videos for you, one of the things that we've talked about is moving into the action phase and what that requires, and the work that we've all had to put in to get where we are now. And while we know that reflection is important and looking within and developing this awareness within ourselves, particularly as white allies who are joining us in this fight, really to bring awareness to others, because it's going to be a fight sometimes. There is a point that my friends, you know, my white friends who are working alongside us, really need to take time to finish that conversation with yourself, to say, all right, I understand this is a journey of awareness, right? I've got to start with me to continue to move forward, but action needs to also follow that. And while we may not have really finished that internal dialogue or that, you know, looking within that needs to take place, for you to feel like you need to move forward, remember we said this was not going to be comfortable all the time. And we don't grow by sitting still. There's going to be a time where you just have to take that step forward. You have to take that step out of comfort. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not. It hasn't been comfortable for us. It's not going to be comfortable for us. And it's not going to be comfortable for you. And so it's time. And so that's where we're moving as this chat continues to move forward. You know, we still have lots of work to do. We are trying to bring opportunities for you to move forward. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's challenging. Believe me, we understand you that it's challenging, but we're also here for you. And now's the time. Now's the time to get ready and take that step forward that you need to take, so that you can start moving out of that comfort zone with us, because we're all going to be uncomfortable together.
And one thing that I will commit to, especially as a school leader, as a practicing school leader right now, is how to, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything to do, but I know I have to do something. And we talked about this last week in the chat. There will be a lot of excuses that people will park at this fall whenever we're going back to school. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have resources. No. Our kids, our staff, our community, our country, our world deserves better than that. And so we're going to have to figure out how to do this work. And so I commit to doing this work, even though I don't have all the answers, but I have an amazing support system here with my own little Grit Crew EDU to make this happen. So I will share my journey with you very openly, very candidly, and definitely, you know, show my journey in that. And I know that we have so many others that will do the same as well. So I appreciate the support within all of you. So who would like to talk a little bit about this week? Because this is something, I don't know, we haven't done anything like this before.
No, we haven't.
And
Fingers crossed that it's gonna work out and that you guys are excited about it with us.
Very excited, yes.
Dawn, Traci, do one of you want to do the honors talking about what it is that we've got set up? Okay.
Yeah, so you've seen by now, hopefully, some of the tweets flying around. We're going to host a watch party this Friday night, 7 Central Time, 8 Eastern. We're going to be watching Ava DuVernay's acclaimed documentary 13th, which really takes a look at the history of inequality in America, starting with the 13th Amendment up through a really close look at the mass incarceration of African Americans in the country. And so we hope by sharing this film with you that you're going to get some really important takeaways that are going to help you, again, to be able to continue to do this work. These are the kinds of things that we need to engage in. We know there are all sorts of texts that are available to us and other resources. Film is a really great place to begin with finding information that we need to help us go ahead and implement this anti-racism education into our classrooms, and really even to just bring in awareness, that awareness that I spoke to you about a moment ago for ourselves. So we're really excited about the watch party, checking it out with you. Traci, do you want to talk a little bit about what we're going to do during the watch party?
Absolutely. So we're excited because we're really going deep. We've talked in the chat about, watch the news, be connected with what's happening in the world. This is an opportunity to watch a very stirring, thought-provoking documentary, but not just to sit and watch just by yourself. Take your family along the journey, invite colleagues, invite them to join the chat. So throughout the chat, we'll be dropping contemplative questions, discussion points, quotes, what resonates with you. And so while we want to be deeply immersed in the documentary, we also want to connect with each other while we're watching the documentary. So the hashtag, everybody, what's our hashtag?
LeadLAP
LeadLAP
13 watch party.
Watch party. It's long.
It's long.
It's long, but it'll work. We got it.
So, Dawn, will you tell everybody how they can, maybe people don't know where to find the documentary. Where can people find?
Absolutely. Thanks, Traci. So 2 ways we're going to tune in. We're going to look at either Netflix. So if you have Netflix at home, right about 7 Central Time, we're going to send out the hit play tweet, right? So you can get started on Netflix. Also, YouTube, you can stream the movie for free on YouTube. So if you just go to youtube.com and search 13th, it will pop up. And so as soon as we send out that tweet telling you to hit play, go ahead and start the film and we'll get started watching together. And you just feel free to drop any comments, questions, anything that you feel inclined to share with everyone and just get some conversation going about that. And like Traci said, we'll be dropping some things out there for you too, some quotes and comments and questions of our own. So Shelly, do you want to talk a little bit about, we're going to do some Facebook too?
Yeah, so I think what we talked about is if you're not Twitter people, which not all of us are Twitter people, and you're more Facebook people, which I will be honest, I'm more Twitter people than Facebook people. So if we mess up Facebook, you can blame it on me. I'm going to have Beth help me. Beth's much more of a Facebook person. But we did also create the watch party as an event on Facebook. And we're planning to drop the questions, the quotes, the things to contemplate in the hashtag that we just shared with you, LeadLAP 13th watch party, but we're also going to drop them in Facebook on the Lead Like a Pirate page. So for that event, so you can interact with us during the movie on either Facebook or Twitter, whichever works best for you. So we're really looking forward, we're so looking forward to doing this. And if you'd heard us chatting before this video, we talked about, if this worked out, maybe this is the kind of thing that we do once a month, the first of every month, is there another video that we want to take a look at? So we're excited about this shift, this change, this different way to do things. We're really grateful to those of you who've already responded and said, this sounds like a really great idea. I'm in. Bring your friends, bring your colleagues, bring your families, or just come, settle up on the couch and watch with all of us and some of your other LeadLAP friends. But I'm excited that we're going to try something. We're going to try something new, and I think it's going to be really powerful for all of us to be able to watch and discuss this film together. I am going to say, the other thing I'm going to say just real quick, is the three of you have all watched it previously. I have not, and I know we've been talking about doing this for a while, and so I've deliberately waited to be able to watch the movie for the first time with all of you. So I'm going to be watching it and reacting to it, just like many of you watching it with us for the very first time. And so I'm very much looking forward to doing that with you.
That's awesome. I'm so looking forward to this. Probably one of the most impactful documentaries that I've ever had the chance to watch. And I think we might even look at potentially, maybe we can add a little intermission in too, because it's a very powerful and emotional film. And so I think that's one of those things we really want to look at. Maybe we can pause midway through at least, if not more. And then also then our chat Saturday will be all of a reflection, all of the time that we spent. So for some reason you can't join us on Friday, if you could watch the movie at some point or refresh yourself on the movie. So then when we get together on Saturday morning, we'll be sharing our thoughts and reflections, and not just thoughts, because thoughts don't always make things happen, right? It's about the action. So what can we now do to make things happen within our families? How can we change some of the things? It all starts at home, right? Like, so how can we maybe have those conversations at home and have action at home? How can we do that at school, you know, in our work environments as well? So we're so excited that you all joined with us this evening. I think it's evening for us. I don't know when we'll get this video out, but you know, it'll be evening somewhere, I'm sure. But I wish, and I think that we're looking at recording kind of the before the recording, powerful conversations tonight. Conversations that change me as a person for the better every time that we do this. And I look forward to continuing the conversation and the action, because it will help truly impact our world.
All right. So we're hoping we're going to see you guys on Friday. Join us. We're looking forward to seeing you there, and so looking forward to the chat on Saturday, where we all get to debrief and talk and keep the conversation going. And Traci and Dawn, thank you once again for the powerful work that you continue to lead for all of us. We appreciate
it. Don't the YouTubers say like the information will be down in the comments or whatever, right? Isn't that what the YouTubers say?
Yes, we're not that sophisticated.
We'll make sure we get the links in the whatever, like the drop down.
That's right.
Traci,
you got that?
Anything pretty about our videos, we're going to give that credit to Traci.
That's right.
And then makes it look really pretty. And who knows, you might even count this. I might even cut this part out. But you know. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.